In this training video, we will be recreating this profit and loss statement that was done in Excel. We will be using this raw data sheet that we extracted from the Excel workbook and import it into Analyzer to create our own P&L statement to compare different store locations and time periods within just a few minutes. Now we are going to import the raw data sheet into Analyzer and start creating a group table. From the home page, click on My Data Packages, select the second icon for New Data Package, name your new report, File, and Next. Select your workbook, add file, and upload. Then select your sheet name with the raw data. Then hit Next. Once uploaded, you will see all of your dimensions and measures that you created in your raw Excel file. Select Save and Process, and then Close. Go to your file name and select the third icon to create report. Now that you are in the group table, you will now start creating the P&L report like the Excel file. Choose the account name to drag and drop in the dimension and start creating your P&L components. Since you are adding the elements for total income, you will select the first icon for filtering. First component you will create is total income, so let's rename this instead of the default name. Select from the drop-down menu, Other Income, Sales Income, and Service Income. Check status so we can move the different incomes in the correct order. Select OK and Apply. Let's drop the budget and realize into the measure so you can see the results as we are creating these components. Then you will drop store location to the top column dimension. Select the fifth icon for all members of store location and hit OK, then Apply. Continue to expand all elements so you can see all 4 store locations. Now that you have total income, you will now create cost of goods sold. Under the account name, select Edit Groups. This time we will use a calculation filter to create a formula for cost of goods sold. Drag over Opening Inventory plus Purchases plus Freight and Customs minus Closing Inventory. Select OK and Apply. Next, you will create gross profit. Select the calculation filter and name appropriately. Formula will be total income minus cost of goods sold. You can uncheck the boxes if you choose not to display each component under gross profit. Hit OK and Apply. Now that you have calculated your gross profit for all locations, you will move on to your expense groups. Typically, you will want to separate your expense accounts into groups such as sales expense, general expense, and financial expense. The first one will be sales expense. To filter your sales expenses, select Advertising, Public Relation, and Website Marketing. Hit Select All to check the boxes so we can see what is under this account. Hit OK and then Apply. The second group will be General Expense. Drag over Depreciation plus Electricity plus Insurance plus Rent Expense and Wages and Salaries. Last expense group will be Financial Expense. Select Filter, Add Bad Debt, select All, hit OK and Apply. To create total expense, add sales expense, general expense, and financial expense. Uncheck the boxes if you choose not to display again. Now that you have gross profit and total expense, you can subtract these 2 elements to get net profit. Uncheck the boxes once again. Next, you will drop quarter into the filter condition. Select all members for quarters, then Apply. You can now select any quarter to look at in this P&L report. For demonstration purpose, let's select Q2 2014. Now we're going to create some comparison charts. Let's move up to the second icon to hide the schema tree and create your first chart. Select a table and chart placement and select a pie chart for some visualizations. Use the drop-down menu to rotate our axis so we can see the different store locations, and select Realized instead of Budget so we can see the actual total income. Hold Ctrl and right-click until you can drag the chart and drop to make a copy. We will make the second chart Total Expense. We will repeat the step to copy the third chart and make it Net Profit. Let's go ahead and save the first report, create a name, and hit OK. Now that you have created a structure for profit and loss report, you can also save this template for future use when you need a P&L account structure. Go under Account Name and select Analytical Pattern. Name the template, it will default to Personal Pattern, and hit OK to save. You will now create a second report to compare profit and loss locations. You can group individual stores into groups on this report to do comparisons. Go to Group Table, open your schema tree, and refresh the analytical pattern to make sure your new template is saved in there. You will now use the saved P&L structure in your dimension, then drag and drop your budget and realized into your measures. Now you will start your store location grouping. We will drop our store location in the column Dimension. We will set a filter for West Coast and East Coast so we can do a comparison with the two regions. Choose Filter, name West Coast, and select the two locations. Check Select All to show the cities in your group table and hit OK. We will do a shortcut and create the East Coast before we hit Apply to save us a few steps. We will select Filter and repeat the same steps as we did for West Coast, and then apply them both at once. Expand the new measures to see all the locations. Now we can drop quarter into the filter condition, select all members again, and select Q3 2014 for our next chart. First, let's hide our schema tree, then we will collapse our West Coast and East Coast so we can see our next chart by region. Select Create Chart in drop-down menu, select Placement, and utilize the bar chart this time, and select Realize to see the totals for all account names. Now you have created a new group for store locations, you can save the structure and use it in the future. Now that you have created a P&L and store location structure, you can create another report using these templates to compare different time periods for the third report. Select Group Table once again, open your schema tree and refresh Analytical Pattern. You will open up the Personal folder and you should see both structures that you created. Drag the store location template over to the dimension first, then the profit and loss template. Once this is dropped, you can expand to see the structures. Next, drag and drop your budget and realize into your measures, then drop the quarter into your column dimension. Now let's create a measure comparing two different periods. Select the filter icon and we will name the first period First Half of 2013. Select Q1 and Q2 of 2013, select all and hit OK. Now create the second measure and name it First Half of 2014 by using the filter again, and follow the same steps. Check Q1 and Q2 of 2014, then we will apply both new measures to the group table. With this new information, you can create another measure to see the difference in growth between the first halves of the 2 years. To calculate growth, use Calculation Filter and subtract 2014 and 2013. Uncheck the boxes since you already have these years in the group table and apply. You can also create an alert for the decrease in negative growth for all of the elements in the West and East Coast. Under Growth Realized, go to the fourth icon to add Simple Alert. Give it a name, check Constant, and the color you choose your negative to be in. We will hide our schema tree again and create a chart to see the difference in the growth. Select a chart position and let's keep it a bar chart. Uncheck the 2 years so that you are only seeing the growth. Set the chart to Realize to see the negative portion of the chart. You also have the option to check the growth box to change the color bar. Lastly, you will save your report. You just completed a profit and loss report using a group table with different store locations and time period comparisons in a short amount of time. For your next P&L analysis, you already have these structures saved to easily create a new report within minutes. To learn more about what we discuss or for a personal demo, please email us at support@strategycompanion.com.